and family, this is Gina Bear, reporting to you for duty. Today I wanted to talk about teaching English in Japan versus in Korea. As many of you know, I taught English in Japan for 3 years before I came over to Korea. I've been here in Korea since last September, so I've been here roughly about 5 months. A lot of people have asked me about this on my blog, so I decided to make a video about it. If you guys want to know more information, I will leave a link in the description box below. Just a disclaimer before I go into this video, I have only ever done government programs. While I was in Japan, I was on the JET program, which stands for Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. Here in Korea, I'm on GEPIK, which stands for Gyeonggi English Program in Korea. A lot of the questions that I get are actually based on what is the biggest difference between Japanese and Korean schools. That's a really broad question and a really broad topic. I'm just gonna give you my experiences. I'm sure there are other people who've had way different experiences, but this is just my experience. So let's get started. I was based in Okinawa in a small town in the middle of the island. My school had roughly about 1,000 students and I taught all 3 grades. So I taught first, second, and third grade in high school, which would equal to about sophomore, junior, and senior in American schools. Now, my students at my old high school, they were really sweet. They were considered the country bumpkins. They would bring me presents, they would say really sweet things, they were really well behaved. I never had any problems with my kids. My students in Japan had a lower English level, but they were very, very motivated. They were really interested in studying English, they were really interested in learning foreign cultures. The thing is when I first started out, the students were very shy, and students generally don't speak out in the classes. But since I had been there for a while, like after maybe about the end of my second year into my third year, the students knew me, I knew the students, and they were more willing to speak out and say other things in class. It's really hard in Japan to break the ice at first, but once you break over that ice, then your students will definitely warm up to you and make you feel super welcome. In Korea, I had a very different experience. My students here in Korea are very high level. They can hold basic conversations. They understand me when I ask them a lot of things. They understand me when I give them directions. They are more talkative, especially in the classrooms. My Korean classrooms now versus my classrooms in Japan, I have to do a whole lot more of classroom management. Once I stop giving directions, like they just immediately start talking and I have to dedicate more time to managing them and making sure they're on task and they're doing what they're supposed to do. From what I noticed, Koreans are a lot more outgoing than Japanese. That's not true for all Koreans. Some of them are pretty shy. So that was some of the main differences that I've noticed between Japanese and Korean schools. I've been very lucky and I have had good kids in my Japanese and my Korean school. While I was in Japan, I had a friend who was teaching at the school like across town. It was like maybe like a mile away, and he had the most rambunctious students. They didn't listen in class, they were very low level, they were known to swear and throw desks and chairs across the classroom. Here in Korea, it's the same thing. Some people have like really rowdy students who are very disobedient. Most of their time teaching is spent making them sit down, making them try and do the task. So it really depends on where you go in both countries. You never know what you're gonna get. So let's talk about some living conditions. In Korea, some of the benefits are you get your housing paid for, you get severance allowance, you get your flight to and from your home country paid for. With GEPIK, you get an entrance and exit allowance of about 1.5 mil. This is wons, okay, not dollars. And your salary is about 2.1 million when you first get into the country. That's about like $2,000 a month. The only thing that I have to pay for every month is my phone bill and my utilities. So here's the deal. If you are looking to save money, pay off your debt, I would say come here to Korea because this is the easiest place to do it. You don't have a lot of the costs that you would have in your home country, especially since your housing is taken care of. If you want to travel and see a really cool country, do a lot of cool things, I would say go to Japan. It's really, really hard to save money there because, like I said, the cost of living is so high. While I was in Japan, I found it extremely difficult to save money because I had a lot of costs that I wasn't expecting. I had to pay for my housing, I had to pay utilities, I had to pay for my phone bill, I had to pay for my car insurance, I had to pay the shaken, which is a really expensive road tax. My salary was $3,100 a month, but because of tax, pension, health insurance, I can't remember everything right now, my paycheck came out to be about $2,700 a month. So they took a whole bunch of money out of my paycheck each month. Once you add the taxes they take out of your paycheck into you have to pay for your housing, phone bill, utilities, etc., it like really adds up. Food is also insanely expensive in Japan. Also, if you want foreign food, there's not that much selection. It's really difficult to get your hands on good cheese, on anything that's imported. In Korea, it's very easy for me to get cheese. It's very easy for me to get foreign food if I want. Of course, it costs a little bit more. I can, afford the expense. Personally, I think Korea is more reasonable to live in right now. The yen is falling. Last I checked, the yen was 118 yen to the dollar. And for the dollar to won ratio, it's about 1,197 won to the US dollar. Living in Korea is much cheaper because I can go out for a weekend and I won't be spending like $250 like I would in Japan. Granted, like the quality and the service is really good, but it just costs a bit more. Here in Korea, the quality and service that I get, like if I go out places, is really good too. For example, I went ice skating with my boyfriend. For the rental and admission fee, it was not even $2. I can go out to eat here and eat really yummy Korean food. It'll probably cost me like $6 American versus if I go out to eat in Japan and eat Japanese food, even if I was eating like sushi, I would eat 8 plates and that would cost me about 800 yen. So Korea, $6 to eat yummy Korean food with a whole bunch of sides. Japan, 8 plates of little sushi for 800 yen, which would be about like $7. That little price difference, it really adds up. So all in all, here's the summary. Come to Korea if one, you like spicy, cheap food that's delicious and yummy with lots of vegetables. If you want to save money and if you easily want to get out of the country. Go to Japan if you're looking for a new adventure, for a country that's rich in culture and historical artifacts. They take really good care of their temples and their, World Heritage sites, things like that. Anyway, I covered a whole bunch of broad topics, so hopefully that answers all of your questions. I might do a part 2 depending on the questions that I get from here. And that's it for today. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please give me a like. If you want to know more about teaching English in Japan and Korea, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Gina Bear, signing out.